Hi, a very warm welcome, viewers. Welcome to TEC, that is Transform and Empower Through Communication. In today's video, I would be sharing with you how to learn English. I would be sharing with you primarily the fallacies about English communication, fallacies about English language learning. I would also be sharing with you the right approach to language learning. Dear language learners, there are n number of fallacies about English communication. First of all, the first fallacy is the fear of being non-native speakers. All of us have this fear that we are not the native speakers of English, therefore it is very difficult for us to communicate in English, to learn English. But I call it a fallacy. If this would have been the case, then certainly English could not have reached up to the far lands across the globe. It must have contained to its place of origin, the English speaking countries. So kindly overcome this fear. The people in various continents, they are speaking good English. So it's a fallacy. Don't entertain this fallacy for long. If you entertain it, that is for your loss. The second fallacy about English communication is that in order to be a good communicator, one needs to have a sound, robust vocabulary. This is not the case, because vocabulary is for decorative purposes. It's the cosmetic of language learning. It is not the essential thing to start with communication. It is to beautify it. It is to be attractive in your communication. All the idioms, phrases, metaphors, symbolic use of language, that is at the advanced level. And a learner who is advanced learner has to take up certain different things as far as English communication is concerned than the speaker who is a beginner. So as per your category, please be conscious of your category, that which category you belong to in communication, and therefore accordingly you choose what to focus more on. The third fallacy is about grammar, that I don't have sound command over English grammar, therefore I cannot speak in English. This is fundamentally the biggest fallacy, I should call it, because grammar is not a unit of production. Grammar is a censoring agency. It is to check whether a sentence spoken or written is grammatically correct or not. Instead of focusing on traditional grammar, from the point of view of learning English, one must pay heed to transformative generative grammar, that I would be talking about in the later part of this video while sharing with you the right approach to language learning. And the fourth fallacy is about that we don't have a conducive atmosphere of English speaking, that's why we cannot speak it. So whose responsibility is to create a conducive ambience around you to speak English? That is your responsibility. You have to be in touch with such people who are good in communication, who communicate in English. This is your choice, and therefore in order to satisfy your need, you have to search for an equally conducive ambience. Now I would be sharing with you the right approach to language learning. See, language learning comprises of 4 skills: listening, reading, writing and speaking. So, and all these 4 skills go together. You cannot practice, you cannot master, you cannot learn all these 4 skills in isolation. Therefore, advisable is to pay focus on all the 4 skills of English communication equally and simultaneously. In our online classes of TAC, the primary design that is to be shared with you in case you join our online classes. You would come to know that how effectively we try to include activities, the practical activities pertaining to all these 4 skills. So pay equal heed to the 4 skills of communication. And then transformative generative grammar. Instead of focusing on grammar, one must focus on transformative generative grammar. And this is very interesting, and it is a very specific part of our syllabus that we have designed for our online classes. To introduce this concept to you in brief, I would say that in this sort of grammar, we take up the sentence structures and we change the parts of the sentence. We replace the words, the nouns, verbs in the same pattern, and then the moment we replace those parts of the sentence with some other parts, then by transforming a sentence and the mode of transformation is to replace the words. So by just replacing the words, by transforming a sentence, we generate one more sentence. So that is transformative generative grammar. That is quite effective, and rather this is the need of the hour. Let me share with you a common disease that needs to be diagnosed today of all the learners, of all the aspirants who want to learn English communication. And if I am right, kindly comment upon this aspect of video, because this is the most significant part of this video. And if I am not right, kindly also comment in the comment box once you have seen the video. Most of you say that I can hear, I can listen, and I can understand. To put it other way, you say that I am comfortable with understanding English, but I cannot speak in English. And then if somebody asks you that why can't you speak, once you can understand someone speaking in English, so why do you fail in terms of speaking? Then you say, I don't have that much vocabulary. Though no, this is not the real diagnosis of your disease. The real diagnosis is you don't have sentence structures. If vocabulary would have been your problem, then certainly you might have not been able to understand what the speaker has spoken about, because that speech, that dialogue used words. The speaker conveyed his message through words. So at the time of listening, it is your relaxed position that by paying attention to certain words, you can make the meaning of the talk. But when it comes for you to speak, it is not that the words are going to help you alone. You have to put them together into a meaningful sequence that is called sentence. So from that point of view, you must focus on sentence structures, and through our regular classes, through our online classes, we focus on this aspect of language learning. Through various readings and various listenings, we specifically point out that this is the structure. You need to transform this structure to generate this type of sentences. And time and again I am referring to my online classes, and that is not only to promote my online classes, but that is from one biggest aspect of language learning. Even in the inaugural address of TEC, respected chairperson Madam Professor Deepti Gupta from Department of English and Cultural Studies, Punjab University, Chandigarh, she emphasized, rather it was under the rubric a word of caution, that what we need to be alert about. That was a kind of warning that English communication is not a product, it's a process. So that's the real aspect of language learning, that it's not a product that can be sold and purchased in the market, as it is happening with flood of YouTube channels on English communication. This tech is also one of those channels. Everybody has the right, and that is justified also. But for effective learning, you have to engage in some sort of classroom ambience if you really want to learn a language. And then the right approach is about English communication or about anything. We keep learning. We keep learning a language. We keep learning the life skills. We keep learning the leadership qualities. We keep learning each and everything. But that learning is not systematic, and that learning is not conscious. And all these unconscious, unsystematic learnings take time. And rather, by the time we acquisite a language unconsciously, or we acquire the knowledge, information about some particular topic through unconscious and unsystematic manner, it's too late by the time we grab them. So in order to be benefited out of these exercises and these I should say these engagements, these academic engagements, one must be conscious about language learning, about learning a particular topic, a particular subject, and you must always accelerate your speed of learning, because we are now living in the digital world, and because of that speaking or learning English becomes a very significant vital activity. So then you must develop some good habits of learning. While listening somebody or reading something, you must take notes, because that add on to your knowledge of a particular discipline, that adds on to your communication skills, your writing skills. And why English is so important as a mode of communication? Because English is the language of internet, it is the language of trade, and we are living in a globalized world. In order to be a global player, one needs to have sound command over English communication. English being the language of trade, internet and employment, moreover, it becomes an unavoidable thing. We must have to learn English. And then I was talking about developing some good habits, and one of those habits is to maintain a diary wherein you take the sentence structures, the words and the ideas worth working upon. Because if you make only an exercise of picking up the words, so after some time you would find it frustrating that why I need to know this number of English words. What's the use of that? Because people who don't have that much sound vocabulary, they also become good communicators, because they know the techniques of communication. It's not about the flamboyant words that you use in your speech, it is about the techniques. And in order to know the techniques, once again I would recommend you our online classes. And if you are interested to join our online classes, you can see the registration link in the description box given below, or you may contact us at our WhatsApp number, that is 99928441118. I repeat it, 99928441118. And now why English communication is important? Apart from being the language of trade, apart from being the language of internet, apart from the being of digital world, we are communicating through a digital mode. So even in the digital media, English is predominantly present there. So we have to learn English. Even apart from that, if you are a student who is appearing in various examinations, be it UPSC or other competitive exams, in almost all the competitive exams, English is a key player. You cannot succeed in any of the exams in most of the exams, I should compromise my statement, you cannot succeed in most of the exams if you don't know English. Because once you are in the working culture, if you are working with some department, you need to communicate, and for that communication you need English, because English is one of the two most used official languages of our country. Hindi and English. Maybe more than Hindi, English is used in communication, in official communications. At your workplace, if you need promotion, you need to have sound command over English communication. In order to be a good leader, you need to have sound command over English communication. Even if we talk about the case of UPSC, that is Union Public Service Commission, in that mains, that is for 1750 marks, it is only because of your writing skills that you can make it for the personality test. So the writing skills play a vital role in UPSC, in other competitive exams, and in our day-to-day communication. So for all these reasons, one need to learn English communication. Then I would say learning English is the most easiest, exciting, and empowering exercise. It is easiest because once we know the benefits, and once we start reading, once we start listening, we come up with so many sentence structures, so many beautiful expressions, and by the time we are learning them, by the time we are not done with the reading or the listening, we become very we become very excited to use those words in our own expressions, in our own communication. So that excitement that excitement makes it easier, and that easy approach to be excited about its uses make it exciting. So it is a kind of reciprocal relationship between excitement and the easiness of learning a language, and certainly it's empowering, because by learning English communication we empower ourselves, as English is the language of employment. By the time the students starting in engineering colleges come up in their final semesters, when MNCs start searching them for the job market, the students realize the importance of English communication. When they join the engineering, they are not as much conscious, they are not as much familiar with the importance of English communication as they become when MNCs start taking their interviews. And even the students who want, the engineering students who want some global opportunities for them, they learn foreign languages, Japanese, French, Korean languages. So by mastering a language, you become a master of a particular opportunity. So from that employment opportunity, we learn languages, and undoubtedly English is the most effective language in terms of employment. So this way I would say that you stay tuned with tech for your empowerment, and tech is different from other platforms, other online platforms of e-learning, because it is a skill hub. We conduct the classes in such a manner that all the aspects which are essential for a learner to learn, because English communication is not a straight-jacketed activity. It is not only about communication, it is about life skills, it is about leadership skills, it is about social skills, it is about n number of skills that we try to impart in our learners. So kindly join our online classes by registering yourself through the link given below in the registration in the description box, or you can contact us at our WhatsApp number, that is 9928444118. And last but not the least for today's session, if you have not subscribed TEC, my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it, like it, and if you really like the course content, kindly do share it with your friends, because we are engaged in this empowerment mission. It cannot be successfully completed without your cooperation. Thank you.